Absolute Wonder Woman issue 17, Kelly Thompson writing with Hayden Sherman on the art. So, it was a very delightful issue. It was very easy to read. It was like, oh, this is not going to feel like a chore at all. It was just like sliding through warm butter.
Yes. So Kelly Thompson is writing my favorite version of Wonder Woman that I've had the pleasure of reading. And everything that happens in this book, I felt was catered to me. The way that Diana handles some of the issues, the way that Zatanna factors into things, some of the decisions that Kale makes, all this stuff. I'm very much, there's some teases for Barbara Ann a little bit. Like, again, this was very much lined up for me.
Yeah, this is mostly an action issue. This is, you know, the cliffhanger last week is the Suicide Squad, I guess we'll call them, showed up, all these Wonder Woman villains, and we kind of like pick off with that cliffhanger. And yeah, this conflict is the entire issue, but you know, there's lots of stages to it because there's different characters to fight. Diana tries to deal with them in different ways. We cut to Kale and her making choices. There's Diana telling like her friends to get out of harm's way. Notably, a moment where Barbara Ann sees this cheetah and is like, "Who is that?" And it's like, "Oh, that is foreshadowing if I ever saw it." So there's that going on. Also, I laughed hysterically when Diana puts Dr. Poison in a bubble, a magic bubble, and just punts her miles away.
Be gone. Yeah, I already dealt with you. We had a deal. Get out of here.
Yes.
And again, and it's that compassion that Diana has. Like, yes, she's putting her in a magic bubble and punting her out of harm's reach, but it's out of harm's reach, you know, because they had a deal. So,
yeah. Well, the first thing we have to kind of get through, I suppose, is that Zatanna has a bit of a face turn, and not that she ends up being super helpful per se, but it turns out she's only doing everything because she's being controlled by what looks like some sort of starro parasite that's like inside of her, right? Because she basically, she's like hijacked Wonder Woman's magic and is used like basically combining her power with hers to get rid of this. So she coughs up this parasite, and it, you know, it looks like a little starfish thing, and I'm like, oh, there's like a star. It's like a star you swallow instead of you know, on your face.
It goes on your face.
Yeah. And it cuts to Veronica Cale's, oh no, what's she doing? She's up to something. Like, it's like, oh, this is how they're being controlled, or at least some of them are anyway. And it's like, all right. And it's basically, as soon as that happens, Zatanna's like, oh, you got your power back there, Wonder Woman, I'm off. Teleport me away. She just leaves. So that's why Wonder Woman then is able to fight everyone else with her full abilities, because she's not unhinged, untethered at that point.
Untethered. And yeah, because she was bound to Zatanna, and I feel like the reason that we got those issues where Zatanna, you know, she kept seeing her in her dreams and whatnot, is I feel like Zatanna knew that this wild magic that Diana has is the perfect counter to get rid of this parasite, right? So when she was encountered it, she's like, oh, I can use that. So I look forward to seeing Zatanna down the line, just because they are so similar, yet I feel like they're opposites from one another. And I like how Kelly Thompson's using that for the magic, right? Is like, magic comes at a cost, and there's a balance, like with the goddess Hecate, and I feel like these two are really showing that.
Yeah. So, you know, then we get into, you know, the fight, and we also get some teasing, because Kale starts saying things like, well, we don't have a magic user on the field right now, and someone suggests someone, and they're like, no, we can't use them because that won't work. It's like, well, we have to, there's only one choice, we have to use him. So they're teasing someone, and they're like, wait, and they say two things here. Is that, okay, this other person, the parasite did not take to them, so we can't control them with the Starro parasite. I mean, they never say Starro, I'm saying Starro, but that's what it looks like.
That's what we're calling it, as a shorthand.
And the other thing that would control him is actually not in play anymore, right? That, as she puts it, that lever's broken, but he doesn't know that, so we're going to pretend that that's still something we can threaten. Which is, I think, the main hint of maybe what's happening with whoever this is when they show up at the end. Yep.
I immediately thought that it was another character, and I don't think that anymore. And I felt like I dodged a bullet when it wasn't appearing to be the character I thought it was.
Well, who did you think it was going to be?
I thought it was going to be Constantine, because they've gone out of their way in the main line to tie Z and him together, so much so where it kind of annoys me. You know, because like, anytime Zatanna shows up, I'm like, Constantine's not going to be too far behind. I don't think that's who this is meant to be. I think it's somebody else. Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking her father. I was thinking this was Zatara, or what's his first name? What's Zatara's first name?
Giovanni Zatara.
Giovanni Zatara.
Yes.
There you go. But that's the end of the issue. But they tease all this early on, so they sort of set it up so there's a big payoff to it later on, which is really nice. And the panels here are great. There's a lot of triangular kind of panels, all kind of overlapping and whatnot. And then of course when Diana's like got her powers back, we get the W panel, right, to know that it's on, like she's Wonder Woman again. Not that she ever stopped being, you know what I mean, she's at full capacity. And then we get
she's back to the warrior witch that we've seen.
We get the hilarious, kicking Dr. Poison away, because she's like, hey, Dr. Poison, I told you to be good, which is obviously calling back to the previous encounter. And she's like, trust me when I say this was not my idea. And Giganta's like, shut up, Poison. And Diana's like, well, okay, I'll just get you out of this fight. And it just bubbles her up and kicks her away, which is just I also love the what the panels.
Hell from Dr. Poison. Yeah, that was a good one. Also, real quick, you were talking about all the triangles and whatnot with Kale in Area 41.
Oh yeah,
I do love the like, they're so kinetic with the way that Sherman draws them. Like, I can almost see them, like they're almost like, what's it called in editing? Like when it's one of those, like a star wipe kind of vibe.
Oh, right? Transition.
When it like a transition, yeah. I can almost feel the transitioning happening here, like with the directions of the arrows, and then finally when we get to the W with her, it's almost like it's coming at us there. So again, Sherman adding this kinetic nature just with the panel work, right? That's not even like what's in the panels that also helps for the narrative. But yeah, just a lot of creative decisions being made here that I really like.
Yeah, some really nice layouts, and then after the kick away, that's when Giganta sort of toughens up and starts, smashing Wonder Woman. And this cheetah, who they do name drop as Priscilla later on.
Priscilla?
Yeah. Not that we have to remember it for very long, admittedly, she's not going to be around much longer. But, Giganta and her kind of get into the fight. And Pegasus is called in, and we get a big, splash page of him crashing through the skylight. All very fun. And Giganta picks up Wonder Woman by the hair when she's sort of winning the fight and takes her outside and says, this is your princess, this is your hero, blah, 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 blah. But Diana grabs a bit of her hair and uses her magic on it, a match spell, if you will. And Diana grows to the same, 15 foot tall, give or take at this point?
Yeah.
Giganta. And it's like, oh, and this is the moment where I went, oh, Matt's like doing nasty things while he's reading this, was my thought.
No, I'm not. Sanctity of Wonder Woman, okay? That said, I had similar feelings when I got to see Statlander versus Megan Bayne on AEW. Two similarly statured women fighting. Yeah, the way that she says, I don't care for the way that you said princess as well. Just like, Diana's got quips too,
Yeah. So they face off, and I was like, oh, this is cool, this is neat, and especially when she kicks her away, and then she turns to talk to Barbara and the others, and is like, hey, you guys need to get out of here. And Barbara's kind of taking her time because she's kind of watching the cheetah and stuff. Like, I like that little panel of her face, look with the wide eyes, and it's not so much like admiration, right? Like, it's not like she's seeing, it's not like she's going, oh, I need to get me some of that fur. Like, I'm into this, but it's kind of I don't know, like just this again, like I said, foreshadowing is the best word I can use to describe it.
Well, there's that, and it's the fish woman as well, which came from that's what Barbara Ann was studying.
That's right, yeah, from the maze thing, yeah.
And so it works on both of them, because when she goes like, who's that? I took it as like, oh, they're showing us, Barbara Ann seeing a cheetah, but also the fish woman is there as well. And then Diana points that out. This is, the other one is one of your menfish queens. She's called Ara. So I thought that was also tying that back around was nice.
Yeah. Giganta jumps back in, fighting ensues. They run down the streets, and when Diana jumps into an alley because Giganta's getting bigger, it's like, oh shit, like now Giganta's gotten to 25 foot tall, 30 foot tall, whatever it is. Diana, does this match spell again,
Matches.
grabs her hair, and grows to the same size. So now they're fighting down the city street, punching each other away. And then Giganta, while she's flying through the air from being kicked or punched up, she activates size again and gets even bigger to what I'll just call kaiju size. And Deanna's like, all right, I've got a bit of her hair. This is the last time I can do this match spell. And 2-page spread, they're literally just kaiju women fighting in Gateway City.
Put the Scorsese meme of cinema over me.
Yeah. Cinema.
Yep. That's how I felt. I was want to point out with Giganta, the way that those I don't know if they're buttons or whatever they are drawn on her, and with the pinging sound, it very much feels like fourth world technology, like New Gods, kind of. Because that ping is very reminiscent to me of the Mother Box, and then just the way that it's designed looks like, you know, the designs you see on Orion or Mr. Miracle and that type of stuff. So I thought that was interesting, you know, because she's like, you know, from Kale, it's this product of science and probably some forms of magic or whatever.
Yeah.
So
I didn't think about those connections, but I think it is clear that because I was wondering what that ping means, and I'm like, oh, that's like when her size is changing. So clearly, that's like, if not causing it, then certainly it's like the suit's like pinging to be like, oh, it needs to stretch out because you know, otherwise we're going to have a big naked Giganta. And I know Matt really wants that, but like they're going to draw that in the teen friendly book. So they're kaiju size, they're fighting, they do the classic thing to make them feel big, which is have a helicopter go in the foreground of one of the panels where I'm like, yeah, perfect, that's how you do it.
Right out of Godzilla and King Kong, right? Like, oh,
for sure.
So good.
And then we cut to Priscilla Cheetah, who is like injured by this point, and we get this fiery figure. Now, I actually had a different guess for who this was, right? Because obviously we're guessing Zatara's the idea here because it's so magical, powerful, and you know, the cliffhanger and all that. But the dialogue he says to Cheetah here actually had me thinking this was absolute Karzataga, because the way he said, "You were never built for this life, I'm taking this from you," made me think, oh, I'm taking the Cheetah curse back, and the idea that down the line, somehow Barbara Ann's going to end up with it, if that's what we're doing. But I don't think that anymore. It was just a couple of lines here, talking to Cheetah before he kills her, that just gave me that kind of demonic vibe.
Yeah, well, there's that, and there's just the way that he says, this is a sweet release, freedom from all you never really wanted. And the way that she says don't too. Yeah, it kind of, I can kind of get where that's coming from.
Yeah. And to be fair, I think when I was reading this page, I didn't initially, I wasn't considering this was who they set up earlier with Kale. I thought this was like another party coming in. Once it became clear this was the person Kale sent, I was like, oh no, this is tied to Zatanna. So then, you know, I went from there.
She also, if you read the backwards text early, she brings up Zatanna, that Zatara is the eternal flame.
That was the other clue,
we have a guy. Yeah. And there's this guy that's just a walking man on fire that, you know, has, you know, like, he's a skeleton on fire, but there's wisps of like, almost like a suit of some kind. Which, I don't know if it's supposed to be armor or what, but yeah.
If I have a critique of this issue, right? If I have a critique, it's probably just that there's a little bit too much backwards magic speak in those first couple of pages. There's, you know, it's just a bit much, right? One quick sentence, like 3 or 4 words are fine, but more than that, I'm getting annoyed at having to read it. So, but that's it. It's a minor quibble, but I just, yes. But anyway,
it does slow me down reading the book though, because I have to look at what they're all saying.
You have to decipher it. You have to be like, all right, okay, what is this actually? You have to think about it.
You know, Kelly Thompson's making us earn it. It is like magic. You know,
and it's not even like you can just like trick by holding up a mirror or something, because the words are in the right order still, so that would still be that'd be harder to read than reading it the way it is. So yeah, flaming demonic looking figure, skeleton on fire, is walking towards Diana, and notably whatever magic this thing has, or this guy has, it makes Diana's magic arms start to sort of melt like lava. It's actually a really cool visual. It's like lava dripping from where the arm was. Really cool. And that's the big cliffhanger. So I mean, Joe, what's so impressive about this is that normally when you come out of a comic and say it was all one big fight scene effectively, that can usually be a negative because it feels like there's no structure or flow to it. This had structure, it had flow, but every encounter felt meaningful. All the fighting with Giganta was really fun and kept escalating. But it literally kept escalating. And then on top of that, you had all these teases from Kale, this mysterious character at the end. What happens to the other characters? The little tease with Barbara Ann seeing Cheetah, and we all know that that's in her future. Unless they go a different direction, but I don't think they will. I think she's going to be Cheetah.
No, but yeah, Kelly Thompson knows that we know that, right?
Yeah.
Or else she wouldn't have put it in there. So it's there for a reason. And just the stuff with Kale, it's hilarious to me that it is almost like early Lex Luthor and Superman, where Kale thinks that she has Diana figured out, but she doesn't understand Diana at all. Right? So she sends this Suicide Squad there, and Diana cuts through them with no problem. Like, granted, Kale wasn't thinking Zatanna was going to cut and run the way she did, but like, we didn't even really get much of Diana and Cheetah, or you know, it was mainly Giganta was the main one. But this team that she had put together to thwart Diana was completely misplayed.
Fish Lady was just smelling her own piss somewhere. I don't even know what she was doing.
Yeah. You know, so, and then we have to bring in Zatara, and it doesn't even feel like a weakness, right? It does feel like Kale was like, oh man, I got to break out the heavy guns now. But I think it's funny, the arrogance that Kale still has, like, and it just reads through her decisions.
I'm going to disagree slightly, because I think the point of, like, we need a magic user on the field because Zatanna's gone, I think that shows that she knows that the only way they're going to win is if there's a magic user to counter Diana's magic. And that's why Zatara is so effective, assuming that is who it is.
Right.
At the end.
Right.
It's like the whole plan was because she was completely debilitated when Zatanna was there. And it turned out that Zatanna didn't really mean her any harm. But you know, but she did have her stun locked. And likewise here at the end, this character's got Diana stun locked. So I think at the very least, like, Kale knows that she needs certain things to win. And it just so happens that Tana, you know, pissed off. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying she's not arrogant. I'm just saying that, like, you know, like, she did plan effectively. It's just that, you know, Zatanna.
Right. I just feel like if Kale was playing for keeps, you put together this whole Suicide Squad instead of just sending Zatara in, right? Because even if they, you know, had they just sent him in first, right? Is that the equivalent of, you know, when the Tetracide had come in? Is it too big of a thing Diana's going to disassemble too quick? You know what I mean?
Well, no, because I think they set this. I think there's an explanation here. Is that because the piracy doesn't work on him, so he's riskier to send in. So they didn't want to use him. It's only once Zatanna left, and they were like, "Shit, we need a magic user right now," and he's the only option. So it sells her desperation at that point, and how much she really wants to take Diana down. So it's functional in explaining it, but also actually sells the determination from her. So it's actually very effective storytelling, the way it's laid out here.
And I think that's what I'm coming around to, though, too, is like, I just love the characterization of Kale here. You know, like, she's not just this evil mastermind, right? We see her make the mistakes and do all this other stuff and go through things. And I think it's cool that Kelly Thompson puts her in there, you know, and we do get her point of view. And it's not just Diana versus the Suicide Squad. You know, we see her scrambling around and stuff.
It still feels weird calling them that because, like, you know, it's not really who I think of as the Suicide Squad. Especially since, like, you know, it's entirely possible there will be an absolute Suicide Squad at some point, and it won't be this team of characters. It'll be more akin to what we're used to seeing, maybe with a few weird entries. But, yeah, the panel layouts in this issue are fantastic. And I think the other big thing I would say here is that, I mean, this is probably one of my favorite issues of the book, and I think one of the things that it does so well is harkening back to that first arc where it was Diana versus a giant monster and how big and epic that felt. This was kind of dipping a little bit back into that with the kaiju stuff with Giganta, and it felt like she was, like, you know, it's almost like, okay, we did the big saving the city storyline first, then we have to go a bit more personal. We have to give her forming her bonds, doing some more stuff with her heritage and her past. But now we've moved on a little bit. We've been moving the pieces around the chessboard with Kale's side, and now it's time to unleash the attack. So we get back to, oh no, the entire city's in jeopardy. But now there's more weight behind it, because unlike the first arc, which is obviously just a, you know, smash bang introduction, we're already here. This is like, no, this is kind of like we're into that territory, but it means more because we've been setting up all this stuff for the last, you know, 15 issues. So, I guess to benefit from both sides of that. So that's really good stuff. So all right, Matt, what are you giving Absolute Wonder Woman?
I'm giving this a 9.5.
I mean, honestly, I don't think I have much of an argument against it. This is an excellent issue. So.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's at least a 9.
Yeah.
I mean, it's at least a 9 out of 10. I'm just debating with myself. Do I want to go to the 9.5?
Yeah. Look, I got Kaiju Diana and Giganta. Like, look, that's worth at least a half a point.
I mean, I'm thinking about the issue, and I'm like, I can't, like, other than that, just a little bit too much backwards speak at the start, which maybe docks at least a half point from the 10. I'm thinking about it. Pacing, exceptional. Structure, exceptional. Teasing of future stuff with this new villain. Diana's like characterization to the whole thing. Kale's characterization. The Zatanna actually isn't that evil. She was just trying to like get rid of this parasite. She was being quite smart. So now we can be interested in meeting her again from a different perspective. That's also exciting.
Yep.
All these little teases throughout. Very good. Layouts, art, all on top. Yeah, 9.5. I'll agree with it.